right, another reaction. We got why the Timberwolves are championship favorites. Hey, man, I think the dude name is Backyard somewhere. Maybe if you don't see, probably after. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I said this before everybody else. I said the Wolves was the top 3 team in the West, bro. I said that before the playoffs even started. Now, I was kind of just guesstimating or whatever, guessing. But I knew they was in that range. Top best teams in the West, bro. They was in that conversation. I knew that. Finna see what they talking about, but it's crazy how everybody's saying that now. I guess because the teams that's left, but they even saying it over the Nuggets and Thunder now, which is crazy. So I like it.
The Minnesota Timberwolves right now are NBA championship. With the Nuggets and Thunder going to a Game 7, they get an extra 4 days to rest and
Thunder,
prepare.
come on, man. I need
last time that happened,
Timberwolves versus Thunder. That's gonna be way better than a rematch. Please, come on, Thunder.
Didn't necessarily work out great in Game 1 of that Warriors series, but with the Celtics and the Cavs going down in the East, I think the Wolves are better than both the Knicks and the Pacers.
Yep.
It's debatable, but I think they are. They're probably pulling for the Nuggets to win because they Pacers.
Because, and it's not even because of talent. It's just the way they play. It's hard to guard, man. I can see it from everyone, that play them.
It's debatable, but I think they are.
Shit.
They're probably pulling for the Nuggets to win because they have a much better matchup against the Nuggets. The Nuggets than they do the Thunder. They've owned the Nuggets.
I just feel like I don't want that. I just don't want it. That nigga Jokic's definitely gonna try to make a statement, bro. I'd rather them play the Thunder for sure. He gonna take that shit personal, bro. He hear everybody saying the T-Wolves on them and Edwards. He hear all that, bro.
For the Nuggets to win because they have a much better matchup against the Nuggets than they do the Thunder. They've owned the Nuggets this year. They're 4-0 against them. Obviously, they beat them last year in the playoffs, and then I'd say they got better this offseason. And then even with the Thunder, they've split with them this season. Yep. The Nuggets are making the Thunder look human. They're making them look normal. Yeah, and then Minnesota can come in and capitalize off that. But like I said, they've split with them this season, and then in the year 2025, they're 2-1 against the Thunder, and that's without Julius Randle. They did play him back at the beginning of December and lost, so 2-2 on the season. But still, this is a Wolves team. They have 8 starters.
Bro, I got the Wolves beating the Thunder, though. But I feel like everybody's saying that now, but I had that before it was popular.
2 on the season, but still, this is a Wolves team. They have 8 starters. They go deep, and there's not a better 1-2 punch in basketball right now than Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. And maybe that's a scorching hot take because there are a lot of great duos in the NBA playoffs left. But Anthony Edwards has been on one. Versus the Warriors, he put up about 27 points per game to go with almost 9 rebounds and about 5.5 assists per night. Remember, this is the guy that led the NBA in three-pointers made this year with 320, and he's known as a downhill driver. Exactly. He's known as a guy that can get to the rim, yet he led the league in three-pointers made this season. More known for this, right, blowing past defenders and finishing at the top and usually creating a highlight with it, but now he's added that next element to his game, and this is absolutely
that nigga worked on history like crazy, bro. He literally became a sharpshooter, bro. That's crazy, bro. To be that athletic with sharp shooting, like, bro.
Getting a highlight with it, but now he's added that next element to his game, and this is absolutely elite. There's one guy that is better than Anthony Edwards this year at pull-up threes in the NBA, and he's the greatest shooter of all time.
See, I knew you were saying that. I knew you was going to say that. He had more threes than him this year, though, so he the three-point king this year, nigga.
Anthony Edwards this year at pull-up threes in the NBA, and he's the greatest shooter of all time. But Ant can also get to his spots, identify mismatches, and he's got a very high IQ on the offensive side of the ball. Look at this right here. It's supposed to be a stagger screen.
Shit. Everybody got an opinion, bro, but I hate when they just try to force it on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just call him Curry, bro. Like, y'all niggas don't say the best finisher ever or best. Y'all barely even give Kyrie credit, so I ain't hearing that, man.
Mismatches, and he's got a very high IQ.
He definitely is the best guard.
Look at this right here. This is supposed to be a stagger screen on the weak side. Rui Hachimura does a fantastic job. He's going to jump this and make Ant go back door. And obliges, cut right back door, and there's no help from the Lakers, so Rui ends up getting beat. Now, you also can't let him catch and shoot, because as good as he is off the pull-up, he's even better catching and shooting. Obviously, 41% from the catch and shoot on 2.2 attempts. It's just easier. That's why I said obviously, and especially when there's a guy like Luka closing out where he's probably thinking you're going to blow by, and then you just pull up and knock it down. It's crazy how good of a three-point shooter he has become in just a single offseason. Although it's been a gradual progression, yes. But, I mean, he's up to 40% from 3-on-3 attempts. He also cooks mismatches, like right here. We really going to put Gabe Vincent on him? I mean, what are we doing? He's just going to quick snatch back and knock down a pull-up three with ease. I mean, that wasn't even hard. And then Luka, traffic cone, couldn't guard him in a phone booth, goes right downhill and finishes over the top. And then watch Luka once again right here. He's been complaining to the ref, and as he's complaining to the ref, he's going to get dunked on. Ant-Man, he called him out. He sent the spider web at him. He sent the three ball at him. And, yeah, there's a legitimate conversation for Anthony ball at him.
But at least you put some effort.
There's a legitimate conversation for Anthony Edwards becoming the face of the NBA if he wins a ring this year. Just 23 years old. He's obviously, very loud in the media, a great social media presence.
Oh my goodness, now,
very loud in the media, a great social media presence. And now he's getting it done on the biggest stages, taking down Luka, taking down
that game. Was this the game where they came all the way back in the fourth quarter and he just went crazy?
LeBron. I mean, look at the list of legends he's knocked off. Last year, it started with Kevin Durant and then Nikola Jokic, then LeBron James, a top 2 player of all time. Also took down D-Book and Luka in the process.
I
mean, we're talking about a top 3 scorer of all time in KD, a guy that's got 3 MVPs.
He is top 2. Ado, I think Kevin Durant and Kyrie the best 2 scorers ever. So, how about that?
Conversations. He's beat them all, and he's 23 years old, taking the Wolves to the first back-to-back conference finals appearance in the history of the franchise. This is a team that didn't make the playoffs for 20 years before Ant-Man arrived in town, and he is taking them to the promised land. Well, not quite the promised land yet, but he is hooping right now. And another guy that is absolutely hooping, Julius Randle. They are 27-6 since he returned from injury. They are 27-6 since he returned from injury. And that's no coincidence. He has been hooping. In the playoffs, he's averaging 24 points.
What happened? Was it February?
6 rebounds, 6 assists in 38 minutes.
He was already, even though like they was saying they weren't really working or whatever, bro. I was seeing them in like December. They played the Mavericks and Luka got hurt, bro. I was seeing like Randall was kind of looking unstoppable in that game. Like, you can go back to that. Was it on Christmas? Was it? I don't know. Was it on Christmas Day? I think it was. That game, Randall was cooking, bro. So
2 record.
And that was when Kyrie almost brought him all the way back.
He has been on another level. He has taken his reputation from playoff choker to playoff rise by shooting 51%.
Like Randall been unstoppable. Maybe it just took him a while for them to like do it all together. I guess with Randall and Edwards can't be cooking, not just Randall. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it took him a while to get them both going. But individually, he was doing his thing. I think he's been doing his thing.
This is where he's so good with Anthony Edwards. Versus Golden State, he averaged 25.2 points a game, 7.4 assists, and 6.6 rebounds. And this is why they're such a great duo. He can attack downhill, draw the defense, and find Anthony Edwards for the wide-open catch-and-shoot 3. That's why they're arguably the best duo left in the playoffs. I know there's a lot of great duos left right now, but these 2 guys are playing the best basketball of their career, arguably.
They are the best duo.
Versus the Lakers, he shot 39% from beyond the arc on 5.6 attempts per game and was hitting stuff like this over Luka Doncic. Ridiculous. And then he loves to play bully ball, getting downhill at about 6'9", 250 pounds. When he goes to the rim, nobody wants to get in front of that because he
was babying LeBron too.
Pause. And then you got Jaden McDaniels, who played really, really well in that Lakers series. He's always the point of attack defender, and he's very good at what he does.
Pissed me off about Finch, and I'm not a T-Wolves fan, even though I said I'm supporting y'all heavy. I said before, if y'all beat the Warriors, like, I'm with y'all all the way. Like, I'm down there a Wolves fan temporarily because I had y'all before all these series, bro. Like, I picked the T-Wolves as my 1B. And they showing up. This Finch thing, bro, he was pissing me off that first game against the Warriors, bro. Because that's the only, that game makes the Warriors fan really think they would have swept the T-Wolves. Like, that's crazy. It was, they was rusty. They had like 5 days off. And then he had McDaniels guarding Curry, bro. Like that, he's not quick enough. You had to have Edwards on him, bro. So I hope he would have, even though we don't gotta worry about that now. I hope he would have put Edwards on Curry, because if not, bro, them niggas might have won, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Well, he probably would have eventually adjusted, but like, nigga, you can't have this tall ass nigga go. Like Curry just moving too quick. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was going off that game. You had to have Edwards on him. Like, why the hell? I don't know why he didn't have that nigga
really
on
well.
him.
17.4 points per game versus the Lakers, about 6.4
Right,
rebounds,
McDaniels,
38 minutes
it's
per
like
game
he
in
not.
this series.
He is a great defender, but I think he can guard maybe 2 through 5 or whatever. I don't know about ones. Like, I think niggas like Kyrie and Curry just a little too quick. You know what I'm saying?
0.4 points per game versus the Lakers, about 6.4 rebounds,
nigga like
38
Luka,
minutes
that's
per
perfect
game
for
in this
McDaniels
series
to guard.
because he had his hands full with Luka Doncic.
Perfect.
He didn't really slow him down, but he did enough to where the Wolves could win this in 5. There is no hiding mismatches against this Wolves team. Luka had nowhere to hide because Jaden McDaniels was just going at him all series long between McDaniels, Anthony Edwards,
this
Gilligan,
team
Walker.
gonna
They had too many
win, bro.
guards
I'm not gonna
for
lie,
Luka
bro.
and Austin Reeves
you got
to be
McDaniels
able to go up
hooping too.
against on the defensive side of the ball. Versus the Lakers, he shot
I would love it,
57%
nigga.
from the
I
field,
picked the Wolves before everybody, nigga.
38%
I
from
picked
three.
the Wolves
Ridiculously
when they was,
good.
I picked
average.
when they said the Lakers was gonna win. I remember doing the video of like I was reacting to like the prediction or whatever of it. They was saying Lakers, and I damn near felt crazy saying the Wolves. I was like, bro, I got the Wolves. We gonna see. I damn near, because the way everybody was saying Lakers, you would expect, like, you would have just expected down there Lakers domination, but the nigga was the reverse. But I knew the Wolves. I knew some of them was just D-Riding, and the Wolves was the better team. I said that, so.
Just an efficiency, because that's what a lot of his field goal attempts looked like.
I
Just right
wouldn't
there at
mind
the
any nigga
rim,
winning at
pretty
all.
wide open because it's a blow by. He's a 6'9" wing with 7-foot wingspan, can guard pretty much anybody in the league. If they end up facing the Nuggets, then it'll be Jamal Murray in a straight jacket for the second straight year, even though I love Jamal Murray. And if they end
maybe
up
he can
facing
guard
the
certain.
Thunder,
I
he'll draw the
still
assignment of Shea
think Anthony
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Edwards should have guarded
Now,
Curry. Running around, I don't think he's good for that. Like running around, so I think he like that ISO like defense. I think he might be better at that. But either way, he a great defender, and I trust that.
Game 5 versus the Lakers, obviously. But there's
would've
been
made
some
the
off the
right
court stuff that he is going through. Don't want to speculate there, but definitely an interesting point to take with us here into this Western Conference Finals series. On the playoffs, he's averaging 9.6 points a game, 8.3 rebounds, 1.3 blocks in 28 minutes per night, and has been playing some pretty solid basketball as of late. Does get played off the floor from time to time, but he was great defensively in the first round versus the Lakers, being able to switch out on the perimeter and then doing stuff like this. I mean, it's ridiculous. He was also pretty solid against the Warriors, but he did get run off the court a little bit during that series. Now, Naz Reid, I'm making a prediction right here, right now. He got that series. Now,
bro, I just
Naz
like the way
Reid,
he just
I'm
come
making
in
a
and
prediction
just
right here,
contribute,
right
bro.
now. If they play the Thunder, we're going to have a Naz Reid game in Game 1. Versus Oklahoma City, last time they played him, he had 27 and 13 to go with 7 assists. The last 3 times they played him.
How is that possible? What, bro? J-Dub down
Thunder,
there big.
we're going to have a Naz Reid game in Game 1. Versus Oklahoma City,
But
last
that
time.
should be crazy how like basketball is. It's like certain things you can do. Like a nigga like Andrew Nembhard, like he be trucking centers and shit when he go downhill. I don't know what it is. Is it like somewhere they hitting them? How is they making niggas fly like that, bro? And they be skinny, bro.
Time they played him,
I be
he had
seeing that a lot.
27
Niggas
and
be
13
skinny
to go
doing that.
in Game 1. Versus Oklahoma City, last time they played him, he had
Like,
27
get
and
off.
13
Oh my
to go
God.
with 7
Come on,
assists.
man.
The last
Come on.
3 times he's played Oklahoma City, he's averaging 24 points per
is
game,
taller, but
12
that-
rebounds, 4
he looks
assists, and a
smaller.
steal, and has a 2-1 record during that time span. They were also playing Jalen Clark, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Rob Dillingham for a lot of these games because guys like
yeah.
Mike Conley,
Could you
Dante
imagine?
DiVincenzo, and Julius Randle were missing time. And they still went 2-1
But the
against
Thunder
the
my
Thunder,
second favorite
who were the
team
best
in
team
the
in
West,
the league
though.
at that
So,
time. For the playoffs, Naz Reid
I
is
kind of
averaging.
wouldn't mind them winning, but I think I do, though. Either team going to the finals would be fine to me, though.
11 points, 3.6 rebounds, 1.7 assists per game. And those numbers might feel a little
Well, I'm
bit down.
assuming the
but
Thunder going to win. I keep forgetting it ain't over yet. Still got to play you still got to win this game tonight,
53% from the field and 47% from 3, which is plenty good on the averages there.
Right.
And he does stuff like this. At 6'10", 250, There's a reason they call him Big Jelly, because he'll get rebounds, throw it between his legs, and then go up over Jalen Williams and finish the layup. I'm calling it.
But
Naj
he just
Reid,
skinny as
game
hell,
one.
I'm noticing people starting to target him on defense, though.
It's going to be the Naj Reid game. And I'm really excited for the Wolves here in the Western Conference Finals. The Western Conference Finals are going to be a ton of fun. The East, it's an old rivalry, but the West, I cannot wait. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching.
Facts, man. What is his name, though? Backyard Buckets, man. All right, shout out Backyard Buckets, man. Y'all but tell me what y'all think of that video. I'm out.